The Louisiana Book Festival, a celebration of readers, writers, and their books. Saturday, November 1st. Over 200 authors, scholars, and poets. Book talks, signings, and cooking demonstrations. Activities and crafts for young readers and teens. Learn more at louisianabookfestival.org.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Support for this program comes from the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, committed to funding educational causes.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
Whether it's the latest museum exhibit, the newest restaurant, or the current hot play,
we appreciate the weekly updates on the arts, music, and entertainment.
Let's step out.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant and arts and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Anwar Nasir, Executive Director of the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra, with a saxophone right behind him. Good to see you, Anwar. Hi. Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio, with a tomato behind her. Okay. Jenny Hamilton, it's been a while, Executive Director of the New Orleans Ballet Association. Welcome, dear. Hello. And Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com.
Thank you.
Poppy, hello. Poppy, restaurant family news.
Oh, this is just big news. And it all has to do with Jacques Pepin, you know, one of the greatest culinary forces of the 20th and 21st centuries. And he's turning 90 this year. And so there's a foundation, a Jacques Pepin Foundation, that's holding fundraisers that they're calling 90 for 90. And the New Orleans celebration is going to be hosted by Dickie Brennan, Susan Spicer, and Michelle Nishan is flying in to cook and celebrate. By the way, Michelle Nishan, for folks who don't know, he's the founding director of Jacques Pepin's Foundation. He's a 4 times James Beard Award winner. He's the founder and president of Wholesome Wave, which is a food equity program. And, by the way, he was Paul Newman's former partner of the Connecticut restaurant, The Dressing Room. So this is Wednesday, November the 12th, and that is, I don't know if you recognize that, but that is the first public event that's going to take place at the Josephine. So, of course, the Josephine on Napoleon is formerly Our Lady of Lourdes Church. And by the way, it's also 90 years old this year. And so that is a special event space that is just getting open now of Dickie Brennan's. The menu is going to rock. Risotto with jumbo lump crab and white truffles. There's sweetbreads on the menu. There's Pekin duck with foie gras. It's 4 courses. Neil Bodenheimer with Cure is going to be there doing a collaboration with cocktails. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Buy the tickets. It's going to sell out. And speaking of my buddy Susan Spicer, big news from her Rosedale restaurant, you know, which is her little baby in Mid-City. And her husband, Chip, I'll never forget when she got the Ella Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award. Chip got up to the podium and said, y'all aren't going to like this, but if I had my way, Susie would never cook for any of you all ever again, because he really wants her to retire. But that is a hard thing to do with Susan Spicer. Yeah. But her nephew, Jonas, is already a managing partner, and now they have hired or brought in and elevated Chef Allison Birdsall. She's stepping up to become chef de cuisine and a partner at Rosedale. And in a nod to the Hispanic Heritage Month, which is just getting started September 15th, there's going to be Garcia de Olano Wine Dinner next Tuesday, September the 23rd. It's a 5-course pairing experience with artisanal wines from this third-generation winery at one of the highest vineyards in Rioja. So very elevated events that you might think of Susan's first restaurant, Bayona, for. They're doing it at Rosedale, and it's always a bargain to go there. And speaking of Hispanic Heritage Month, our old videographer friend, Craig Kramer, has started what he calls an apolitical initiative to help all the Hispanic restaurants out, especially the ones on Williams Boulevard in Kenner, where you can go to Williams Boulevard and find Nicaraguan food, Honduran food, Mexican food from all the regions of Mexico. Well, Craig and his friends go to lunch in these restaurants, and they're all empty. And he's very concerned about these people. So he has started a Facebook page encouraging people to join and share photos. It's Nolan's Hungry Gringos.
Aww.
And, you know, there are restaurants like Cafe Tomas, Chilangos, Don Jose, Los Catroches, Rancho Latina. I mean, most of the time, everybody in the restaurant speaks Spanish. It's the most authentic experience. It's like a trip to South America without buying a plane ticket. Just go kind of out near the airport. Go to Kenner and help those Hispanic people out because they are really hurting and need our business.
Yes. Oh, and I mean, there are so many restaurants. As you said, Don Jose, what is it, Los Catrachos?
Yes, look at the garlic shrimp.
Oh, my gosh.
Yum. It's just one thing after another, each one a little different, incredible bargains, delicious food. And it's so interesting that our old buddy, Craig Kramer,
Yes.
started this initiative.
He
So
really cares.
Go to
He's very
his Facebook
community-minded.
page. He is. He's a great guy.
Very community-minded. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Peg.
much. He's a good guy, yes. And Anwar, speaking of good guys, okay, you have a new season to tout.
We do. We are so excited to be back. It
Highlights,
felt like
sir.
it was a short but long summer, and we're welcoming folks back into the concert hall. So we're incredibly happy to be kicking it off next week with Big Frida coming back. We're bringing the bounce back to the Orpheum. So we're really excited. She has a new gospel album out that's going to be really fantastic. We previewed a couple of tunes the last time, but we're orchestrating some new tunes to do along with the orchestra. So if you've come to any of the other shows that we've done with Big Frida, this is going to be a brand new experience for everybody. So
Look at Big Frida.
Yeah,
Love the dress.
and you know, there are costume changes involved, so you have to come to make sure you're getting all of the looks that only Frida can give.
But, I mean, very serious, though, about the gospel album.
Yes, it's like Frida grew up in the church, so this is really a part of Frida's experience. So you kind of get a full range of everything that Frida is. So you get a little bit of N.O. bounce, a little bit of Jenna My System, but then also chasing rainbows and everything else that comes along with
And
it.
going from Big Frida to Verdi.
Right to the next. I mean, we're showing the breadth and depth of the LPO. So we're going to one of the greatest pieces of orchestral music that's ever been written. There are going to be 200 choristers from New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and everywhere in between. That's going to be really, really special. So you're going to get the full force of almost an 80-piece orchestra, along with 200 choristers. We're presenting it in conjunction with the New Orleans Opera. So I would say some of the best soloists. We have 2 local soloists that are going to be playing with us or singing with us. So I'm incredibly excited to go from Big Frida to Verdi. I think it's going to be a little bit of whiplash, but I think for most of us, if you're into both, this is the time.
And you've got your Halloween nod.
Halloween nod. We're doing Frankenstein in concert, which has never been done here
Now,
before.
explain what that means.
Of course. So we
Okay.
know the original, I believe it was 1937 film
The movie?
that had no score.
Boris Karloff.
Yes, with Boris Karloff. 31, thank you. No score. So it's not a silent film, but there's, of course, dialogue in it. So we have Michael Shapiro wrote some music to this. So it's never been heard here in New Orleans before. So we're presenting this in conjunction with New Orleans Film Society. It's going to be at Roussel Hall on Loyola's campus. So we're really excited about it.
Oh, I think that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on to Hungarian dances.
Hungarian dances. So we're bringing this back. This is going to be a brand new program, but for anybody that's come, it's a conductorless program. So it's featuring Alexandra Prusso, who's the former associate concertmaster of the Cleveland Orchestra, and she's bringing along her fiance, actually, Antoine Thomasstedt, who is probably the most internationally famous violist on the planet right now. He plays on a wonderful Stradivarius viola. There are hundreds of Stradivarius violins, but there are only, I believe, 18 violas. So this is a really, really special occasion. The two of them are going to come together to lead the orchestra. So there's no conductor along with it. So I mean, I think that it's really if you're into this kind of music, I mean, there's Bartok and Haydn and just some really, really beautiful orchestral music that's going to be played on the Orpheum stage. So
we also have to really remind everybody that it's not that you're always at the Orpheum. You've just referenced Rousseau Hall, you know,
Yes.
and Mahalia Jackson, but you're also in Jefferson Parish on the North Shore.
We're just about anywhere that you would like us to be. So we're around. We play in I think we're in 8 parishes total between our education and community engagement programs. There's also a family concert in October as well. So a little spooktacular Day of the Dead theme concert. But we also have happy hours and chamber music. We're at the New Marigny Theater for some chamber music. We go to the North Shore to Furman Auditorium. So we're really all around the city, and I would say all across the state too. Later on this year, we're going to be going out to Lafayette, playing along with the Acadiana Symphony. So we're doing some really amazing things across southern Louisiana and beyond.
Well, we're glad. Now, how many years have you been with them?
This is my 5th season now, but it also feels like my 50th too. I don't know how that works, but you know, time is just flying.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, but I think that the orchestra is doing some really amazing work, and I'm incredibly excited.
And
to be a
for
part of
all the details, because it is a long
It's a
list,
lot.
lpomusic.com. Thank you so much.
Thank
Anwar.
you.
And turning to Jenny, who's only been at the New Orleans Ballet Association for how many years?
Over 30.
Wow, very impressive, very
Not showing my
impressive.
age or anything, but yeah, it's over 30 years.
And before we even begin, okay,
Yes.
we have a wonderful montage of their upcoming season, New Orleans Ballet Association. Let's take a look. All right. Well, that's quite a season.
It's quite a season.
Did you want to quickly kind of give some highlights of that? We gave a taste just now.
I do. We're going to open up on the Dance of Harlem on October the 11th. And of course, you know, Dance of Harlem is a singular voice in ballet in the world, founded by Arthur Mitchell. They're going to be doing masterworks by George Balanchine, by William Forsythe, as well as by the artistic director Robert Garland. And then the performance on November 15th is very special. And right after Katrina in 2007, we commissioned a work by the internationally acclaimed choreographer Trey McIntyre. And we wanted to tell the story that New Orleans was alive, that there were creative things happening here, and that New Orleans matters. So we commissioned this work, and he chose Preservation Hall Jazz Band, and then the work toured internationally. And I remember Chicago Tribune wrote, "Tonight's performance showed an enthusiastic Chicago audience why New Orleans matters." So in honor of the 20th anniversary of Katrina, we're bringing Trey back. He is going to be actually putting the work now in a company called Body Traffic, a very celebrated contemporary company out of Los Angeles. Preservation Hall Jazz Band will join again.
Wow.
So we're going to have a very celebratory evening on November the 15th, and the performance actually will open with a piece that Trey created to the music of Buddy Holly. That's it that you see right now. And then end literally with the second line out of the theater into the lobby. We're going to celebrate. And the company Tango After Dark in January, they're directly from Argentina. They're world champion tango dancers with 9 musicians on the stage. They're absolutely fabulous. And I must say, it can make for a pretty hot date night, I think, in case anyone is interested. And then we're going to close with Hubbard Street. And the interesting really about Hubbard Street, other than being one of the most celebrated contemporary companies in the world, is that they're the only company in the concert company in the world licensed to do the work of Bob Fosse.
Oh.
So we're going to be able to experience, in addition to other very innovative works, 2 works by Bob Fosse that people don't normally get to see. One of them that you see right now is Sweet Gwen Sweet. And when you see the work, it might feel a little familiar because Beyonce actually used this movement to create her video, Single Ladies, the Single Ladies video. So this inspired that video, so you'll recognize that. But a fabulous season of just diverse work of world-class dancers and artists and artistry. So we're really looking forward to having all of them here.
And something I really wanted you to reference, please, is what happens to the proceeds from the dance companies that you present throughout the year.
In addition to making those performances possible on the stage, NOVA provides about 100 classes and activities a week in the community in 3 parishes for ages 4 to 80 plus. So any child ages 4 and up can come to us for tuition-free dance instruction. It's sequentially based.
Free. Those 2 words.
Tuition free. Tuition free. It's absolutely tuition free. If you're interested, if there is a $50 registration fee for an entire academic year of dance classes, it's completely open and free. And if students are interested, they can progress through our pre-professional ranks all the way, and we have several performing with professional dance companies, or maybe they just decide that they want to go to medical school, whatever they want to do. But we also have a program for senior citizens called our Senior Dance Fitness Program, and those are health and wellness classes provided at 3 Nord centers twice a week. And there's about 200 seniors that come to us, and that is 48 weeks a year, as well as we have 2 locations for our Dance for Parkinson's program. So it's a very special program that was developed specifically to combine live music and dance and the art of healing and wellness for those with Parkinson's disease. So it's a very special place to be because all of these programs, as you said, Peggy, they're 48 weeks a year, so we don't stop. I just had someone say, how was your summer off? Well, we don't have summers off. These programs run nonstop. But what a special opportunity and how blessed we are to be able to have so much impact with so many thousands of people in the community.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because I really want folks to know that it's so much more than just a presentational group.
It absolutely is. And you can go to our website and learn more about, but ages 4 to up at any place. If you're a dancer in the community, we also have a free ballet class or modern dance class every single Wednesday open to you, because that is completely free.
Love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Allen.
So a few years ago, Jefferson Performing Arts presented The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I stated at that time was probably their most monumental undertaking. They followed that last year with Jesus Christ Superstar and Jekyll and Hyde, both spectacular productions. But with Waitress finishing its run at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center on Airline Drive, they have achieved near perfection. It's a show that could easily rival one on Broadway or a national tour. In the center there is Meredith Owens, who has one of the best voices in the city, as Jenna, the waitress with a flair for baking pies, flanked by Chase Kamada on the left there is Dawn, and Whitney Mixon on the right is Becky. Jenna finds herself expecting a child that she does not want, but she intends to carry, and she's supported in this by Dr. Palmater, played by Jake Wynn Wilson. The songs by Sarah Bareilles run the gamut from beautiful ballads to comical send-ups, but the fantastic vocals are all backed up by Ainsley Maddox and a small orchestra that performs on stage behind the dinner countertops. It's a big shout out to Eric Porter for his incredibly realistic scenic designs. And then for comic relief, Scott Sauber steals the show as Ogie, a man who has his heart set on Dawn, and he and Chase Kamada enjoy some wonderful scenes together. But when it really gets down to the essentials, this is Jenna's story, a woman who makes pies out of a messy kitchen, the way she eventually transforms her messy life and brings it all into order. Sarah Bareilles' She Used to Be Mine and You Matter to Me, sung by Dr. Palmater and Jenna, will be one of your favorites too. I tell you, it's amazing. Wayne Gonsolin, who has an absolute beautiful voice, he's so convincing in the role that I will say right now, he outdid Dakin Matthews, who originated the role on Broadway. Yes, he is that good. It's also hard not to mention the ensemble. and the intricate choreography that's tendered by Blake Cohealy. It's nothing short of magical, and the costumes by Antoinette d'Altris are also outstanding. Here's a shot of the 3 female leads after last Sunday's matinee with Chase and Whitney, both Stage Door Idol winners, flanking the star, Meredith Owens. Brava to all of these ladies, and also to director Leslie Castay, who put this regional premiere together. Waitress ends its run this final weekend. Now, meanwhile, over at Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts, another regional premiere, Dear Evan Hansen. And again, a Tony Award winner for Best Musical in 2017, written by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, and a book by Stephen Levinson. Jacob Morris plays the titular role, a geeky kid with a broken arm that everyone ignores until a troubled classmate, Connor, takes his own life, and a letter left behind suggests they were close friends. With a powerful vocal role like Evan and his mother, Heidi, played by Ashley Lemler, and Connor's mother, Cynthia, played by Allison Bullock. This show explodes with emotion as Evan allows that lie about Connor and he having a friendship to make him a popular figure at school. Luke Buchwald plays Evan's cousin, Jared Kleinman, who helps Evan with creating fake emails to make Connor, played by Bradley Lewis there, to seem even closer to Evan. Evan's crush on Zoe Murphy, Connor's sister, becomes a real relationship, making Evan want to keep the secret as long as possible. Ryan Riley plays Larry Murphy, Connor's dad, who actually connects to Evan closer and more easily than he did his own son. Elise Spurlock, as the musical director, does a fantastic job translating the score with a wonderful live band, filling Rivertown with incredibly fabulous arrangements. The set by Ben Needham with projections by Mark Fucci is spellbinding and so worth seeing the show just for what they did with that. And this is shot right here with the 2 co-directors, Kelly Fucci on the left and Bryce Slocum on the right, flanking their star in the middle. Dear Evan Hansen continues through next week. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Williams Theater Company is finishing its production this weekend of Outcry. That's the 2-character play, which was Tennessee Williams' last show on Broadway. Tracy Collins gives a poignant interpretation as Claire, a spinster sister living in an old Southern home with her brother Felice. Kyle Dagrapont plays Felice, sometimes flamboyant but sometimes brooding, a character who attempts to work with his sister in acting out this 2-character play that mirrors their own lives. It's a dark and brooding play. It takes time for it to flesh out the characters who are really codependent. This work requires great listening as to what they say on stage and what their body language says as well. I'm telling you, it's very well directed by Bo Bratcher. It features excellent moody sound designs by Nick Shackelford, along with dark and foreboding lighting by Diane K. Bass. There are a number of adult themes in it, including discussions about violence, murder, suicide, and death. This is the last work performed, I think the last time we saw it was Southern Rep back in 2018, and it was the last work that Williams premiered first in London in 1967, then revamped for 1971 Remount in Chicago before having it transfer to Broadway 50 years ago. That show also ends this weekend. And then starting up a 2-weekend run tomorrow night is Intramural Theater's Critical Mass by Deb Margolin, yet a play that was written, I think, back in 1997. This week, the critic will be played by Brian Sands, an actual theater critic. Next week, the critic will be played by Joshua Tierney. That's going to be at the Marigny Opera House. A bit of a departure for Intramural, a big venue for them. Marigny Opera House on St. Ferdinand Street. And again, general admission $25 and $35 for patrons. And finally, the nominations for the Crescent City Theater Awards have been announced. Tickets will go on sale next week for the event. Please check it out right here at WYES TV Studios. And on November the 17th, go to our Facebook page to nominate the Theater Educator of the Year if you can. And again, we'll hopefully see everybody there. It'll all be on Eventbrite.com.
All right, thank you. Busy times. Thank you so much. Time for picks. Poppy.
Next Friday, if you've never been, I recommend storming the Sazerac with all the ladies that show up in those remarkable costumes as a throwback to when ladies started drinking at the Roosevelt Hotel. It's in the Blue Room. It's so much fun.
All right, thank you. Mr. Allen.
Well, I point out the LPO, again, is represented very well here, but there's only one person at this table who actually has interviewed Big Frida. And that would be Peggy. From Superman to the Imperial March, from Star Wars to Raiders of the Lost Ark, John Williams' music is just impressive. It continues to resonate in 2 other places besides the Orpheum Theater. Check out the LPO tomorrow night in Luling at the LaFawn Center. And then on Saturday night, the LPO travels to Nicholls State for more of the same. I'll see you at the theater.
And thank you. Now, my picks on Saturday and Sunday from noon to 9, the family-friendly West Bank Heritage Festival will take place at the Hilario Center in West Wego. Rockin' Doopsie Jr., Shamar Allen, and the original Pinettes, among others. WestBankFest.com. The New Orleans Museum of Art will hold its annual free fall festival on Saturday in the Best Off Sculpture Garden from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Music along with the Crew de Fleurs. This is a ladies' marching group who are dressed as flowers. And food will be available. NOMA.org for details. BK House presents their Beautiful Spaces Symposium, and that's on Saturday. This year, experts will discuss how historical fabrics, quilts, and needlework can transform your own spaces. bkhouse.org for a schedule. And next Wednesday at 10 p.m. on WYES and WYES.org, the documentary Everybody's Talking About Sammy, the Sam Morgan story concerning this true New Orleans jazz pioneer. Check it out. Thank you all so very much for being with us, and thank you for watching. Good night.
Programming on WYES is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
From Masterpiece to Nova, Antiques Roadshow to Agatha Christie.
And of course, Steppin Out and Informed Sources.
We are pleased to support public television.
It's been our passion.
For a lifetime.
Support for this program comes from the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, committed to funding educational causes.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
The Louisiana Book Festival, a celebration of readers, writers, and their books. Saturday, November 1st. Over 200 authors, scholars, and poets. Book talks, signings, and cooking demonstrations. Activities and crafts for young readers and teens. Learn more at louisianabookfestival.org.